one of the courses I took when I was in the military, something that was required for everyone going overseas to learn. It was a CLS class, or Combat Lifesaver class, and all the class was teaching the basics of first aid to help somebody in the event of a gunshot wound or an explosion that took off one of their extremities. It was a very basic course. I was not a medic, but it was something that I had to learn because I was going into a potential war zone. Now, thankfully, I never had to use any of the skills. I was fortunate enough to never have to see combat, and I will never pretend that I did. So imagine the feelings I have when I'm scrolling through this app and I stumble across a content creator on here that I know most people respect, Scotty K, giving a CLS course to his followers, which is something I agree. I think it's a good thing to learn, but you can imagine how it feels to realize that this is information that regular people now have to know because of where the world is at. Because regular, everyday people live in a world where there is a non-zero chance of them being harmed by a federal agent. And I know I don't want to dismiss that this has been a reality for black and brown people for a very long time, and I don't want this to come across like I'm just now thinking this is a reality because it's now affecting white people. I want to acknowledge that this is something that has been happening to black and brown communities for quite a long time, but as a veteran who thankfully was fortunate enough not to have seen combat, it is still jarring to realize that regular everyday people are having to learn these things because of what is effectively a paramilitary organization roaming around doing whatever it wants to with no accountability, and has now shown that it will open fire on anybody who gets in the way. It's just, I'm having a lot of feelings about it. And just kind of, it wasn't something I expected to have to relearn as a civilian, and yet here we are.